Teaching According to Tish, my first year in 4th grade. I am super excited about this school year. I feel like I'm more excited now than I've ever been throughout my whole career, and this is going into my 7th full year of teaching as a certified teacher. So super excited. But today I am here to share with you some of the activities that I am looking into doing for the first day, as well as some activities that I've done in the past that really help to build that class morale, to get to know your students, and for your students to get to know each other while still creating that structure that you need to sustain you throughout the rest of the school year. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna have fun today, we're gonna get to know each other, but we're still setting those standards of having a structured classroom. So the most important day of the school year is the first day. That is when you make your first impression to your students, and again, you get to set the standards as to how the school year is going to go when you're looking at classroom management and behavior management. It's also the most nerve-wracking day, not just for you, but for your students as well. So you want to set the tone for your classroom to be a warm, welcome, inviting environment. Like I always focus on decor in my classroom. A lot of people ask why, and that really is just to set the tone. I want my classroom to feel like it's a welcoming environment. It's my home away from home. So even just for me, I want my classroom to be inviting and to feel welcoming. And another way that you can do that, in addition to just having your room decorated, is to set the tone on a first day with some fun activities. So I'm going to give you some of the activities that I'm going to look at doing this year, as well as some of the ones that I've done before. It really helped my classroom with my students getting to know each other, me getting to know my students, me getting to know things about them, as well as remembering their names. So let's jump in and see what these activities are that you can definitely implement, whether teaching primary or secondary. So the first activity is called Find a Friend. You give your students a handout, and it has different questions on there for students to go around the room and find someone that matches that criteria. So the way that I plan on doing it this year, because in the past I've allowed students to, go to one student for multiple criteria. So for this year, I'm going to set it differently just to make sure that every student is being approached and that kids are not just going to the same 4 people to fill out the form. And to do that, I'm going to require that the students have to go to every single student. Once their form is filled out, I am still going to have them go to each student and have that student introduce themselves and write their name on the paper as well, just so that I know that they went to every student. I am actually the new face in the classroom. I'm also the new face at the school. Most of the students in my class would have already been there for 3rd grade, but they were not all in the same class. So this is a way for them to also get to know each other. And again, you don't want anyone to feel left out because only one person came to them. This way you know that every student got visited by each other. Alright, the next activity is called an All About Me page. Now there are tons of these different types of pages floating around Pinterest and Teacher Pay Teacher as well. Free for you to use. For me, I have normally done it as a homework assignment in the past, where they either had to do an All About Me bag and bring that in, which is something I might still do, as well as just fill out a questionnaire form. And the form is cute. It has little different cartoons and different things drawn out where the students can color them in. And for this, the students just fill out the questionnaire about themselves, and it's just saying about the things that they like, their favorite things, their hobbies, their family, and then you will have the kids present them if you have enough time. Once the students are done, I will have them to go ahead and present to the classroom. That way, again, I am getting to know them, because let's just be real, the first day of school is hectic. The first week of school is a blur when it's over, and you might not have time to actually go back and read each of those forms because you have different standards you need to go through, rules and procedures you need to go through, and then you also need to worry about your actual content. So for this, I will have the kids present and share in front of the class. I like for my kids to present, so this is the great way to go ahead and get rid of those presentation jitters that kids might have, and it helps them to start to feel comfortable getting up and speaking in front of the classroom as well. which goes into our next topic, first day jitters emoji writing. So for this one, you will have to get the book or find an electronic copy of the book called First Day Jitters, and you're going to read that aloud to your class. So after you're done reading the story to the class, you just go over like some of the nerves and the feelings that you had about the first day of school, whether it's excitement, joy, happiness, like I said, nervousness, and then you will have the kids select 3 different emojis that captures their feelings, and then they're going to write about it and explain why. Alright, so the next one is a little bit of a long description, so just bear with me. It is called Letters Around the Room. This one, you don't even have to have a handout for it unless you want to, and it also depends on what grade you're teaching. If you're teaching a lower grade, you might want to have a handout, and on the side you will have the letters of the alphabet from A through Z. So for this, you want to keep it timed because there are a lot of letters, and you're pretty much sending the kids on a scavenger hunt around the classroom. This will help them to get familiar with the classroom and also start working with each other, but on a more quiet note. So they go around the room and they have to find objects, not people, that start with that letter and write it down. We're not checking for spelling here, y'all. It's the first day of school and we want to have fun. But like I said, this is a great way for them to get to move around the classroom and to figure out where things are in the classroom. I will keep a barrier though. I will like caution off my desk area just because you don't want 20 something or even 30 kids, depending on your school size, to be all around your desk area messing up your own stuff. So for me, that section will be closed off because I know what's over there. They don't need to know what's over there, but they get to go around the rest of the room and find things. And then at the end, you're going to just have like one big chart up at the front of the classroom, and you will have each student give off 1 letter, trying to not have letters repeated. Again, you have how many students in your class, so you should have enough to go around the classroom. And then of course, if your classroom's smaller, then you just have a couple students give off another letter. You're probably not going to find too many things with the letter X or Z in your room unless you have like a zebra or a xylophone hanging up somewhere, or a Xerox paper shown. So there will be letters that you won't have, but this way you just have like a main copy for the whole classroom to see, and that will help with timing. I would not give them that much time for this either. I would probably only give them between 15 or 20 minutes to find things, and that way we still have time to share and for each student to give out what they think they found in a classroom so that you can write it up on the board or on an Anchor chart. Alright, so the next activity is a back to school time capsule. So you will have to put in work before you get to school and create something that will become the time capsule to keep these findings in. So on the first day of school, and this kind of goes with that emoji writing, where the students will just write down some of the feelings that they had or a memory that they've had about the first day. So this could be something that you do later on in the day, like maybe closer to dismissal time, and they will just capture the feelings or a memory of that day, write it down, and then place it into your DIY time capsule. And then towards the end of the school year, maybe not the last day, but like the second or third to last day of school, you will go in and allow the students that you still have to read off what they said. This is something you will have to remember though as you get new students, to also have them do that. That way at the end of the school year, they don't feel left out because they weren't there the first day of school and didn't get to complete it. And you know you don't always get all your students on the first day. They will come in throughout the week. So that's something that you will have to keep in mind to make sure that everyone is included and no one is left out when you go to read off, well, when they go to read off their feelings or memories from the first day of school. And it is just something for them to look back on and to reflect from their first day of 4th grade or whatever grade you're teaching to their almost to last day of that grade year. This is something that I did for the past 2 years, and I did it in a round robin kind of setting where we sat on the floor in a circle. Depending on your classroom, you might just want to have the kids like just sit at their desk or whatever if you don't have the space to like come to a carpet and sit in a circle. But we did 2 truths and a lie. Again, another great way for you to figure out who your students are and to find out some things about them. So of course you want to start with yourself, giving your name and then 2 truths and a lie, and then you will direct the students to do the same thing. Make sure that they say their full name at first, because again, you're also trying to remember their names and you want their classmates to know their names as well. So they start off giving their name, and then they will give 2 truths and a lie, and then you will allow 3 students to figure out what was what, or maybe 2 students, because once you get down to 2, then you already know what the last one is, whether it's true or a lie. So again, you start off with your own self, and then you go around the circle and allow students to do that and try to remember the truths about them, so that again, you know 2 more things about your students, and it's only the first day of school. And the last activity that I have that you can do on the first day of school is a back to school escape classroom. So you come up with different puzzles and problems for students to solve, and you don't have to have props. You can just have them printed out on task cards or on handouts, and you set it up as if you're doing stations in a classroom, and you can either have the kids move from station to station, or what I've done is move the stations to the class. So that way you don't have too much movement going around, especially if you also do the A to Z classroom activity where you're finding letters around the room. But again, it's up to you, it's up to your class size, and it's also up to how comfortable you are with your students, because this is the first day and you know that your procedures are not set in place as far as having students move around the room. But this is something fun because you get to see them actually work. You can even add content within this, stuff that you're going to be doing later on in the week once you start teaching as a pre-assessment. They don't have to know because they're having fun. But yeah, so you just want to have that, and you set it up as stations, and you have the kids solve the problem. The reason why I say you might want to move the stations for them is just because it might take some groups longer to solve the problems than it will take others, and that way you don't have a hold up waiting for a group to solve a problem. In this case, you just want to have multiple copies of the puzzles and problems for the kids to solve, and that way once you see that a group is done, they either press the button, raise their hand, ring a bell, whatever it is, as a sign that, hey, we're done with this, we're ready for the next one. So that's why I also suggest that you just have them stay in one place and you move the stations for them, so that you don't have other groups standing there waiting for them like, are you done yet? Is you done, or is you finished? Alright guys, so that is all that I have for you today for first day of school activities. Now of course, you don't have to do all of them, and you actually don't even have to do them all on the first day. These are great things that you can do throughout the first week, but like I said, the first day is the most important day, so you want to make sure that you have enough activities well thought out. That first day is going to go by super fast anyway, so you want to just make sure that you have things planned, but you're also flexible to go with the flow of the first day of school. So I hope this helped you guys. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I will be sharing videos with you all on Mondays and Fridays. And go ahead and leave a comment of things that you want to do for the first day of school, or activities that you've done in the past. Comments really just help for other teachers to get to see my videos. And go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys for the next video. P.S. If you heard a lot of noise in the background, I have 2 cats and they were going crazy as I was recording. So yeah.